Hi, this is Trish Igel Roberts, and welcome to today's Wellness and Transformation vlog, Thoughts on Everything. So today's vlog is called Seeing Little Bits, What is the Pattern of Life? And I recently started using these subtitles because it kind of gives you a sense of where I'm going with these things. So with this one, I I had my astrology charts done for the first time. And it's kind of interesting because like growing up, I was never like super into astrology, but I think around when I got to be um, in my teens, I started noticing that my friends all seemed to have the same zodiac sign. And then there were like some people who was like, I never came in contact with these zodiac signs. So I started thinking, maybe maybe it means something. And then I remember at another point in my life, my sister told me that she had like her charts read at a party or something like that. And she said while she was having it read, the person told her that they heard laughter and she thought it was me because I was always like, laughing like that. But and then she said to me that they said I was going to get my house and my baby at the same time. And I was like, okay, whatever. But then when I did get my house, it was like it was, my daughter was born in December and I got my house in January. So I was like, okay, maybe there's something to that. I don't know. But so that was just something that I thought about. And then when I had my recent reading, something happened during the reading that made me think, okay, maybe there's some kind of pattern in this. So I'm a yoga and a meditation instructor, and I have a certification in yoga nidra, which is like, sometimes we call it yogic sleep. So it's a way of allowing the body to rest while the mind is quite alert. And I was doing a yoga nidra practice that I had actually recorded. If you guys want to look for it, you can go on mindblowinghappiness.com and look under resources. It'll take you to my SoundCloud account and you can find it there. But so I was listening to my own yoga nidra practice actually for the first time, which was kind of a funny thing. And I had this experience while I was doing it where I saw um, three butterflies come in through the crown of my head. One was blue, one was yellow, one was green. So if you know anything about the chakra system, which is kind of our energetic body system, there are colors associated with the energetic body, and they really are points along our spine for the most part. So at the beginning of 2020, I decided I wanted to focus on my throat chakra, which is represented by the color blue, because I realized that my writing wasn't so much about writing, but it was about sharing and helping people and inspiring people. So I really wanted to use my voice to share what I wanted to share and also to speak for people who could not speak for themselves. So I had an awareness around wanting to work on my throat chakra. But going through this yoga nidra experience, when I saw the three butterflies coming through the crown of my head, one was blue, one was green, and one was yellow. So green represents the heart chakra, yellow represents the solar plexus. The heart represents working from your heart. The solar plexus really represents finding your power. And so when I had that experience, I actually came to tears because I was like, oh my God, it's not just finding my voice, it's also working from my heart, which I knew I had an awareness around, and also opening my heart. Um, but also finding my power. And I think I've always had like a little bit of a negative connotation with power because it's so often abused. Also, I was a third child. For a while, I was the baby. So I never really thought of myself as like a leader or powerful. That's something that I've kind of come into more recently. But that experience was just like so profound for me. Uh, because it just made so much sense. And then I decided I got to get a tattoo that's going to represent this, and we're working on that too. But I had my charts read. And what do you think that woman said to me? She said the same three chakras. She didn't say them as chakras. She said it in a different way, um, related to the astrology chart, but it was the same three components. And my mouth dropped open, and I looked at her, and I was like, "Do those align with the chakra system?" And she said, "Sure, like duh, like I'm supposed to know this," which I totally didn't know. But yeah, it just blew me away. She was telling me the exact same thing that I had experienced, in a yoga experience. Um, so listen, first of all, if you guys are not spending some time getting still, you got to get still. Whether you're doing a little bit of yoga or a lot of yoga and you're having, the time on your yoga mat at the end, or if you're doing like slower pace yoga like yin or restorative, it gives you some time to get still. If you guys have a meditation practice, that's amazing. Yoga nidra is fantastic. Even if all you could do is put yourself in a little 5-minute adult timeout, whatever you're doing, you need that time, because in that space you can find so much. Um, but anyway, so I wanted to make you notice patterns, right? Because the first pattern was that I noticed that, some people that I knew tend to have the same zodiac sign. The other thing was noticing that somebody might say something to my sister that really seemed to reference me in some kind of weird way. And then, this realization that I had about my voice, which of course now I have to clear my throat, but this realization that I had about my voice, and then the understanding of the voice, the heart, and the power, and then that replicating again. The thing is, we a lot of us have been taught to believe a certain thing based on our religious backgrounds, and all of that is great and fine. Um, just understand whatever you believe, there is only one truth, right? We can all have all different religions and all different things, but there's only one reality, right? The universe operates in one way, and we may come at it from all different directions, but it's still one truth. Sometimes we get to see little bits of the truth, right? Or little patterns. And I would just encourage you to pay attention to them and to be skeptical. I'm skeptical. Like, you have to come at me with some data. Or when I see patterns, I go, oh, okay, this keeps happening. It must mean something. So be skeptical, but also be open minded, right? Because you want to be able to receive new information, and you want to be able to grow, right? Like a flower, we got to be able to grow. Um, so one more story I want to tell you guys before I let you go. Um, when I was in my early 40s, and I was working as a financial advisor and not exactly loving it, I got kind of obsessed with this book, Harold and the Purple Crayon. Well, maybe not obsessed, but I was like into it. So I always liked that as a childhood story. But when I went back to look at it as an adult, and maybe because at the time I was sharing it with my daughter, I found it to be a really profound metaphor. Because if you don't know the story, so in the story, it's this little character, he's got a purple crayon, and he was basically drawing his world. And even when he was not intentionally drawing his world, like he got really nervous and he started shaking, and he ended up drawing a choppy ocean. And then he started drowning in the world, basically in the world that he created for himself. And even though he didn't intentionally create it, he still designed it, and he still had to live with it. So sometimes, even when you are not intentionally making a decision, it's still a decision. And if you're able to, well, what I was thinking at the time was, if I was able to create that world that I really was not happy with, then I was also able to change it and create the world that I wanted, or at least try to, right? At least work on it. So I wanted to leave you guys with that. So pay attention to the patterns. Notice the patterns in your life. And if you want to find out more about me, you can always go on my website. It's mindblowinghappiness.com. I hope you enjoyed that and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.